It is the middle of the morning. Well, not the middle of the morning. It's a little after midnight. And where I am. And right now, I just had a quick message. I just wanted to come on and talk with you guys for a little bit. It is a little bit late and just have this conversation with you guys because I think it's really important. Um, so the thing with leveling up, we are not going to sit here and pretend that leveling up is not a lot of work. It is not work. Every day you have to um let's see if I can put this on. I love this little glittery thing. Makes me happy. Yes. It's a little snowman that glitters. It kind of makes me happy. Anyhow, because the thing about leveling up is it can't just be done with a wig and some makeup. That's the beginning. The wig and the looks that you love yourself so that you can go out there and demand something from a man who has something. That's what the makeup and all that is about. And forgive me, my connection is a little bit shaky. So I will try to talk slow that way we don't miss certain things and I'll rehash certain things as well. But uh, when you're leveling up, the most important part of a level up is psychological and mental. You have to be able to evoke a certain level of empathy and sympathy from a man to be able to get the things that you need. Because if a man feels like you have it all put together and he feels like you have everything all settled up and all, he'll never help you because in his mind, you're on the same level as him. You can go out there and get whatever you want. Now, the reason why I'm talking about this is because recently I had a gentleman reach out to me, and while I was going through my Rolodex, he actually reached out to me and I did not reach out to him. Him reaching out to me is what made me go through my Rolodex. So I contact list, and when we call it a Rolodex, that's old school. I know I'm not flipping pages, but what made me actually even go through my Rolodex was the fact that this man had reached out to me, which made me realize, like, oh shit, I can tap a whole hella I can get to a whole hella bunch of untapped resources if I go through my old emails and some old phone numbers. But first, let me give this a try. Let me give this gentleman a try, okay? So I let him sit for a couple months. He hit me up over the summer, and I kind of just brushed him off with some, like, I don't think you have the right person, because I didn't know who he was. Then I started to realize who he was. And then I hit him up a couple weeks ago because I needed some money. And I figured, now that I'm going through my Rolodex, let's see who will give me money. Now, to his credit, he was one of the few people who just sent me money right away, which is like, yes, I got a fish in a hook. Little did I know, and little do I know now, because I'm not 100% sure that he's a small fish, but he's not a big fish. And the reason why I say he's not a big fish is because he makes a lot more than what I would make, but he doesn't make, in his mind, what he believes is enough to support a woman. And the reason why I say in his mind is because in his mind is the only thing that counts. If he makes $300,000 and he decides that taking care of a woman is too expensive, it doesn't matter how much he makes. There are men who make $50,000 that take care of their woman. Now, I'm not saying she's going to 5-star hotels and Michelin star restaurants, but she is getting the utmost care and consideration from a man who is slaving away for $50,000 a year and is helping her out. Whereas there is a man working on, he doesn't know I need help. He just is someone that I'm working on because he's a big fish. So rather than ask for certain things, I just imply certain things and let him, because I want him to come to me. So I want to seduce him enough to come to me. But with this gentleman who's kind of like mid-size, I feel like this. There are a couple of red flags already, and I'm going to tell you why I'm not too invested in him. He just sent me $100. It wasn't a lot of money, but it was based off of a text message, and he has not seen me in 10 years. So I say, hey, but this is when I realized that he's not that serious. The last couple of times he hit me up and he wants to get together, he keeps implying for a day over the weekend. And it turns out that he thinks I'm going to go with him to a hotel or a motel for a day of fun. And then I said to him, well, we've never had sex before. What would lead you to believe that? So I did exactly what I was supposed to do. I played it off like I was highly offended, because technically I was. I was offended because I'm not looking for a boyfriend, but you know who you're calling and you know who he reached out to. I didn't even reach out to you. You know he reached out to. I'm not a hooker. I'm not a prostitute. But at the same time, I require more than a hooker and a prostitute because I'm not one. So that's something that I think men in 2020, the young men, because, and when I say young, this gentleman is around a little bit older than me. So he's in his mid 30s to late 30s. And that, to me, there are so many red flags. So for example, he's too young. He's in his mid 30s to late 30s. He works out and he looks good. And he can pretty much have any woman that he wants, I'm sure, in his mind, even though I know better. But at the same time, he wants a certain type of woman. That's why he is always talking to me, always pursuing conversations with me. What I need him to do is step out of his comfort zone and make plans. So he was supposed to make plans for this past weekend, but then when he hit me up on Monday, it was clear to me that he didn't realize that he was supposed to make plans, because he says to me, on Friday, I assumed that nothing happened for the weekend. Wait, hold on. We said plans for Friday. I'm expecting you to make plans. So I pretty much spelled it out to him that if he wants my company and he wants to see my beautiful face and body next to him at a restaurant or any event, you have to make plans. Long gone are the days where a 30-something-year-old woman should be making any plans. And the reason why I say that is because if I have to make a plan, then you're not that excited about me. If you're super excited about me, you should want to show me all the wonderful restaurants you've been to over the past 10 years that I haven't seen you. You should want to take me to some of the great spots you've been to, show me off and bring me around. And if you're unwilling to do that, what it says to me is that you really don't put a high value on me, because maybe you haven't seen me in a long while. So in his case, I'm going to say, you haven't seen me in a long while. I've sent you pictures, but you haven't seen me in person. And so that's what he keeps coming back with on text message. Well, you have to understand, I haven't seen you in a long time. You have to understand that I haven't seen you for 10 years. Now, I'm going to entertain everything that he's doing right now. But the title of this video is, remember, he gets nothing until you get an investment. Did he think $100 was an investment? Because when he gave it to me, I told him straight up that it wasn't good enough, because I already have other things coming out of my bank account, and literally there's nothing I can do with $100. I'd have to take it off the Cash App. So I gave him the impression that $100 wasn't sufficient to help me. I also gave him the impression that I make good money. I also gave him the impression that I'm interviewing. He even thinks that I interviewed today, and I did. And I'm going to get the job. But here's the thing. He doesn't need to know what I'm making. I told him the salary that I'm aiming for, but by next week, I didn't get that job. So so the purpose of me sharing the job with him and the amount that was being offered is because I want him to understand what kind of woman he's dealing with, the quality of woman that he's dealing with, and what my expectations are around money. I'm used to having a certain amount, even when I work for myself, which means you have to be out doing that, which I do. So by him seeing like, this girl is capable of pulling this amount of money and this is what she's used to getting from men, I can't come any lower than that. Either he's going to walk or he's going to appease me. And it's one or the other. There are no two ways about it. What I find is that now he's only a little bit older than me, a couple years. He is not going to appease me in everything that I want. I could see that. But if he thinks that I need something, he will help me the same way he helped me that same day. So what I think is that he doesn't want to help me anymore because he just gave me $100 out of my face, because I'm not chasing $100. Sorry, $100 wasn't enough for me to $100 wasn't enough for me to run behind you and chase you. So I think that that's something that he's picking up on it little by little, who he's dealing with. This is a woman that, you know what, she is going to get what she wants. She gets what she deserves. She works hard, and she's always going to win, and I'm going to be here for her until she wins. So even though I told him I was making a good amount of money, it's just so he knows this is the type of woman you're dealing with. But by next week, even if I get the job, I'm going to tell him I didn't get it, because I'm not your Barbara the Builder, and I'm not going 50-50 with you. I don't plan on helping you do anything. He said he had a plot of land upstate, 11 acres. He wants to sell a piece. Maybe I could help him. Yeah, I would love to help you sell some of your property. I would love to help you buy another property, but that's not going to happen by having sex with you. That has to happen prior to you having sex with me, because I'm the prize. I'm the woman. I'm not going to give you my body and give you my energy to sell your house and give you my energy to buy you a new house. So you could try to finesse me out of commissions because it is an intimate relationship. No, you're going to invest in me so much so that you have no plans of investing in anybody else. You're going to put all your energy into me. You're going to say, I want to be with that woman. I want her to have my children. Because like he jokes about having zebra children. This is good because the DFS guy, he's black and he's already got his mixed child. Remember? And he moves very slow because he thinks he's a prize, because in his mind he is. But you see, Irish boy, he doesn't think that way, because he is competing against all of the other white men. Let's kick it and let's be honest and let's be funky. He's competing against all the other white men that wish they could have me. But maybe they're already married. Maybe they're too old. Maybe they're apprehensive. But this guy has the leg up. He's already in and he knows he's in. He knows me. He knows a lot about me. He's known me since before. He's known me since, like, literally, this is my same face, but he's known me since before there was makeup on it, when I was a young kid, 19 or so. And I used to come to his house and give him massages. Like, remember when Craigslist was popping, everybody used to give massages. I used to go to his house and give him massages. He's like an athlete in college or something. And I used to give him literally massages. And he would teach me exactly how he wanted me to massage him. And never did I ever have sex with him, have oral sex with him, touch him in any way. I've seen him, but I wasn't exactly sure what the motive was. But he's a good guy. And so for that reason, I don't look at him as, he's a good guy. So for that reason, I don't look at him as husband material per se. But what I do see is I see a man who would be committed to me and would do things for me. But I have to bring it out of him because he's untrusting. So he says to me, he gives me a whole back and forth and an goes in deep apologies about, but you know that women do this, right? Girls do this for money, and like girls try to get money. That's a thing that's happening right now. And I'm like, and then I had to hit him with that's not me. You've known me for over 10 years. That is me. He doesn't know that I've changed. But let me tell you something. That is me, because I'm just like every other woman. I want a house too. You see those girls that are finessing all those men, they're getting houses and condos and cars and everything. And even if I can pay for it myself, you're going to pay, because you're paying for low-level bitches to have a car and a house and a condo and all that bullshit. What do you do when you get a high-level bitch? You better act like you know. So to be honest with you, he's putting in my hands, just like the other gentleman from DFS. And the reason why I say this, and I know you guys are probably thinking to yourself like, yeah, but where's the fruition of everything? I just started this journey. I literally just kicked Dusty to the curb after New Year's Eve. And it was supposed to happen 6-7 months ago, but I kept trying to, because Dusty was, I even though I call him Dusty, he was paying my bills and helping me out. But now that I don't need him anymore because I just don't want his energy anymore, I literally have to start from scratch, which is fine. But what I find is that I have to build up the value. You see, Dusty knew my value because he had been hired by me to build my studio. And that's what I always have to remind him. Like, you were hired by me, which means that you're an employee of mine in my eyes. I don't ever see you in my head and in my eyes. I don't ever see you as a businessman, because everything that you do in business has to be connected to whether you're my client or not, or whether I pay you or not. So that's why that situation will never work. Because in my mind, we're already on the wrong side of things. In my mind, I didn't call your business to have you set up my music studio. I called a friend and he tossed me your number, which means that you don't even have a business of your own. How can a woman like me, or a woman who really works on themselves and has a lot going for themselves, how could they literally spend time with a man who needs to be taught every single thing about life? Because they would rather do that than to pay the child support that is due to their ex-wife for the 2 kids that they left. Because the real reality is this with a lot of these Dusties. They'll say the woman doesn't want me to see the child and all that. But the reality is, why doesn't the woman want you to see your child? She doesn't want you to see your child because you're not in a condition where you benefit the child. Listen, I don't want a guy who lives out of a plastic bag to see my child either. Sorry. I don't care if he's a father or not. You don't set a good example. So why would she ever want you to see the children? For example, Dusty came to my house because Dusty's still a friend. I'll still take any money he gives. I don't care. But having sex with him is out. Like, God, I mean, I dealt with months of sometimes his dick not even working. And it didn't even bother me because all I wanted last year to try to get some help. And like a normal cancer, because all cancers do this, and I'm a Scorpio, I cannot deal with cancers. Like normal cancer men do, he latched on to me like this. And it's like, oh, but I just wanted some help. But no, I can help you. Here's some money. I can help you. I can help you. You know what? Get the fuck off me and take your money too, because your energy is so shitty that it's like I will be a loser hanging out with that person. And I'm not trying to put a person down because I've given a person an opportunity to really change their life several times. But what I realize is that it's not my opportunity to give. I'm not God, and I'm not granting you any special party favors or whatever, or you're not getting any special treatment or anything by doing what's right for yourself. That just benefits you that you're not a drunk. It doesn't hurt me or benefit me that you choose alcohol over your whole life. That's your life. Those are your children that you leave behind. That is your ex-wife that you're crying about. That is your mother that does not speak to you. That is your apartment that you're sharing with your homeboy. That is your money that you're paying my bills with. I don't care. I don't care that you have an apartment on the other side of Brooklyn or whatever you do with your friend because you're in my place for 4 or 5 days a week. Now you're paying bills. And if you can't do that, then don't come back. So I literally feel like men have to be put in their place, and they have to understand that in order to get something from us, we need real investments. And investments are not a baby. A baby is a trap. I don't want to be stuck with someone who is downtrodden and down on themselves, always talking about a baby. Literally, this person is so low. All they ever talk about is a baby, but they've got 3 of them out there that they can't seem to help. But yet they talk about a man. Last time I checked, this Dusty was cooking dinner for him and his friends. And what I'm saying is, why I'm bringing him up is to show you the stark comparison between what you leave behind when you're serious about leveling up and what you're going on to. I dealt with that because I was trying to level up, but not really. I dealt with it because I was kind of semi-leveling up. I mean, I was doing my makeup and I was working out and all that, but I decided that I didn't want to work. And believe it or not, it's impossible to not work in New York. You have to work. And if you want to level up, working is the best way because it puts you in the environment of all the rich guys. And that is something that I had forgotten over the last couple of years that I've been building my record label, because I'm just so engulfed in the fun of being creative that I forget the reason why I went into business is because that's where all the rich niggas are. If I want a man that has money, I have to go into business. Listen, you can work in fashion and all that bullshit if you want, but the men don't work there. You have to work where the men work. If you want to get access to certain types of men, because believe it or not, New York City is trash now. These last couple of weeks, I've tried to go out to some different places and freestyle. Freestyling is hard because rich people don't even hang out the way they used to. They do their own thing in their own circles. The only way to do it is to crack a circle open and to get into that circle deep. It's true. I know I saw that on someone else's live video a couple weeks ago, but it's true. A girl said that that you have to kind of be in the circle. And it's true. You need to be in the circles because there's no more going into, I tried it over the last couple months. Not to say that I'm going to stop trying, because I'm going to keep trying. But what I have to always remember is like, it pays to go to work for a couple of months so I can get cool with the bosses and be invited to things where I can meet other colleagues or old colleagues of theirs that might end up being a potential husband, a potential match, someone who can elevate my life. Because when I say potential, I'm really at 33, I'm really looking at men that can be married and have the resources to be married, and also have the mindset, meaning they believe in a team of a man and a woman, not a team of them and their blood homeboys, or a team of them and their banker friends. Because the thing about men is that they like to get into packs of wolves because they think that that's manly. But what's more manly is creating a home-based team with your woman. So when men start to realize that, it's not going to happen, because I don't value him in that way, because I always see him in the way that he sees me, which is like something to have fun with. Well, if that's all it is, remember, this is a person I'd messed with in college. And guys, you got to keep up, because there are like 4 in my life right now. All right. So we're not talking about the banker. We're not talking about the Irish guy. We're now talking about my friend, a good friend of mine who's going supply chain, which is a waste of his time because he's already in his mid-30s. Why are you studying? Why do you have your head in a book still? You should be a business owner. And that's another thing about a lot of Black men. It's like, even the ones that I really love and the ones that I would consider being with, they are 10 to 15 years behind Brad, because at the end of the day, Brad has been doing whatever the fuck he's been doing since he was 21 years old. And here you are, 35 years old, just so mean to tell me that since Brad got into it at 21 years old and he got married around 32, 33. So you mean to tell me that from your 35 point, 12 years later, you'll be about 47 years old before you get married? I don't have time for you. So I want and I'm looking for a man who understands the quality of a good woman, understands the value of a quality woman, and how to bring the best out of his life through the team of his wife and children. And when a man starts thinking like that, that's the only time he can be considered potential husband potential. Until then, everybody else is a John. I don't care. I don't care who you're fucking with, because I'm not fucking with you. There's an artist I'm trying to manage, and he keeps sending me his dick pic, and I think it's so foolish because he's saliva. Saliva. Let me go get some water. I'll be right back, and we'll talk about the artist that keeps sending me. All right, guys, so back to what I was saying. I have an artist that I'm trying to manage. He's actually friends with my other artists, and me and my other artists have decided that this guy would be a great fit for the team, and he's wonderful in terms of the types of rap he makes, in terms of his bars, and his personality is great too, except he has one flaw, which is low self-esteem. And the reason why I say low self-esteem is for this reason. How many times as a man are you going to hit a woman that's out of your league and be rejected? And then it hit me, no, don't look at it like that. He actually has not been rejected yet. The problem with me is I just laugh it off and he's not taking the hint. So let me formally reject him so I can get his mind right. Because if he doesn't know me by now, he's not my type. And it came down to me telling him straight like that, you're not my type. And you know, the sad thing that I found to be so sad about it was like when I told him that he wasn't my type, he kept doubling down like he was going to convince me that he could become my type. And then when he realized that that couldn't be achieved, he went an inch further as to insult me about things that have happened. Jealousy in a very corny way. But then he was dismissive of the conversation, and as if I had lost some privilege to speak with. And I laughed at it because he relieved me of the energy I didn't want. I didn't want the energy of you always sending your dick. I didn't want the energy of, yeah, I told you the first time you sent it, because you sent it like 10 times. I told you the first time you sent it that I thought it was fake and I didn't believe it was you. Now that I've seen it 5 times in 5 different angles, I know it's you, and I'm a little disappointed in you. Because if I told you what I really thought, it would hurt feelings. Like, for example, you have a huge dick. Okay, great. But your whole body is skinny. It's shaped like a dick. Maybe you should gain a little bit more weight. Nobody wants a tall, lanky man with a big dick. I have to actually walk you around in front of people. What would you look like? Sorry, but we're not checking for niggas that look like Snoop Dogg and niggas that look at PNB Rock. I'm sorry, we don't want scrawny. Let me not diss anybody, because PNB Rock is a handsome man in the face, and so is Snoop in the face. But these guys are so skinny. It's like you see, you know what? Fuck that. These niggas will sit here and talk about how they want a bitch with ass and titties and light skin and all that bullshit. Let me tell you what I want. I want a nigga with muscles, gorgeous, with brown skin, a nice dick, not too big, because I'm not trying to get rammed by the fucking gorilla. And he gotta have a bank account, boy. In the bank account must be 7 figures. Meaning, not his salary, meaning he's sitting on it already. Oh, so when we start talking about money, there is no comparison, because the real reality is a lot of these young men that are sending their dick pic out are sending it out because that's the only currency they have. If I asked them to give me $20, they wouldn't have it. So, for example, gentleman that sends me his dick, who's also an artist I want to manage, sells weed. If I want to smoke a little bit of weed, I call him and buy my. Let me tell you something. For a man that wants to fuck so badly, you should have been offered me free weed. Not to say that it would work, but since that's the only thing that you have of value, really, shouldn't you offer that? Your dick's not of value. It isn't, because I'm not looking to get pregnant, and I also don't want to get rammed by a huge cock. What I would like is to preserve my pretty, beautiful chocolate pussy, this chocolate bunny. That's what I would love, to preserve this chocolate bunny so that the man who's got the real cash can enjoy himself, man. Because that multi-billionaire nigga with the big dick can have fun, and he's worth it. So I can't give my vagina to a man who I have no future with, because you will ruin everything I'm trying to build for the next man. Meaning I'm building something for the next man to enjoy, because that's what being a woman is about. This package is a package that comes with, like, there's no reason why. There's no reason why a woman shouldn't have everything that she wants. The reason why you don't have it is because you're aligning yourself with a man who doesn't want to give it to you and can't give it to you. And you take other things. Some of you women, and myself, I've done this as well, but as I'm getting older, I know better. Sometimes we take dick, small amounts of money, and promises as if that's going to pay our rent and mortgage. It's not even enough money to pay my phone bill, that $100 a boy sent me. But you make so much money. I just got him to admit that he makes over $150,000 now. That's not a lot of money to me. It's not. But It's enough to not be sending me $100 when I'm telling you I have an emergency. It's enough to be able to send me $1,000. And if you don't think that it's enough and you don't value me high enough, then you'll never see my face. Then everything that you said last week about not thinking it was going to happen is true. It's not going to happen. It's not going to happen because you just showed me that I wasn't worth more than $100 to you, and you thought that it was so hard for you to part with that. So because I let him know, like I pretty much text him. I'll read you guys the messages too, because I want you guys to understand how you can reel it back in once you think that you're out of the running. And once you think you fuck something up, you can reel it back in. But here's what I said to him. And now I have him over here telling me how to negotiate salary. But when I make him think he's helping me, I already know how to negotiate. Thank you. But guess what? I'm going to tell him that I didn't get the job because they thought my salary offer was too high. He's going to see me fall flat on my ass, and hopefully he'll help me out. But if he doesn't, he's done. That's his last chance. So this is what he keeps saying. So we're talking, and he keeps saying Thursday, where should I get a place? And I said, a place? The fuck is he talking about? Figure out, and then I said, figure out what restaurant you want to eat at and make reservations. He said, okay, I will. And what time? And yes, place like hotel. And I said, excuse me, a hotel? Only hookers go to hotels outside of vacation. Then I gave him the eye rolling emojis. I mean, never mind, I'm good to go. I hit him with that. He said, well, if we were in Brooklyn or Queens, we aren't by Westchester, because he lives in Westchester. So he thinks if we're in Westchester, I would just go to his house. And I said, I'm so lost. And he said, me too. And I said, literally, I'm 33 years old and have so many options. You're going to treat me like a hooker. If you're going to treat me like a hooker, I could literally go out with anyone else like I did this past weekend. I roll. Like, you're not that important. You threw me $100 and now you're talking about a place. I just won't show up. Not sure how you got that impression, but like I said before, I don't do massages. I'm not a hooker. Straight hit him with that because I need you to know where the fuck and who you're dealing with. He hit me with $100. That was cool when I was 19 years old and just trying to make a little bit of extra money on the side in college. But here's what we do. Now, and he says, oh, so, okay, so you were talking to me personally, like dating? I'm not, and he said, I'm not calling you that. And I said, I was just entertaining your conversation. And he said, I'm not calling you that last thing. And I said, I'm 33 years old, gorgeous, and 5 seconds away from being a celebrity. I have a lot of options. I really think you are confusing me with someone else. And then he says, okay, but this whole conversation and relationship opened back up with money. And I said, I only asked you for that money because that's what I'm used. I'm going to start doing voices so you can understand. I only asked you for that money because that's what I'm used to, not because I'm expected to sleep with you for it. So it wasn't like you're like, oh, you're a nice guy, I want to date you. So you expect me to say that explicitly? Why do you think I've been mentioning the restaurant? How old are you? I don't even have that much. I don't even have that sex, to be honest. Plus a month. I'm seeing the head of DFS. He never makes me feel pressured, but never mind Bryant. I hit him with a Bryant. I gave him the wrong name. I called him something else. That's how unimportant you are to me, because you don't value the things I value, which is me. And then he goes, okay, well, pardon me for being confused. And I said, you're looking for a different type of woman. I've never had a relationship that was based off money. Okay, so you're a man. That's what I hit him with. And I apologize for making you feel that way. Not my intention. You know I like you. And then I said, clearly you don't like me enough. Clearly don't like me enough. If you think that my value is $100, you recognize that $100 is almost my hourly rate at work. I don't think you get it. My value is $100. You recognize that $100 is almost my hourly rate at work. I don't think you get it. I hit him with the I don't get it emoji and said, I explained myself pretty well and with reason as to why. And then I said, Well, I've never had a relationship where I've had to ask a man to help me. Any man that truly cared about me was there to help solve any problems and dilemmas in my life. That's what quality women like myself are used to. Then he says, I gave you money because I felt bad. And this after me not saying he left me for my record label. That's not his business whether he left me money or not. But he left me things and I'm going to embellish. Even if he left me 4,000, I'm gonna say it was 40. It's not your fucking business what he left. Dummy. To start my record, I'm not for the chump change and excuses. Give that to someone on Queens Boulevard. Now I recognize that you think I'm a hooker. I'm not even interested. I left him like that for like a whole day. And then I hit him, and then he hit me with the eye roll. Seconds later, he hit me with the eye roll and said, that's not it. We have very little rapport. You came to me out of nowhere. Just my name, he says. Jay, we have very little rapport. You came to me out of nowhere just like I did to you. You asked for $500. You're damn right I asked for $500. You gave $100. You just showed me what you thought I was worth. You couldn't even give me half of $5. Sad. And that was a week ago. And I'm over here. Fast forward to today. I'm telling you I have $6. I'm expecting you to put some money in my account, but you're not getting it. That's why you won't see me. You'll never have access. Sorry. But I don't care. And he says, you have people who just do that? That's awesome if you do. And I understand hard times helping out, but why should I? Because you're cute. You gave me massages 10 years ago. See. So now I got him to admit that I've never had sex with him. And why should I do that? That's a red flag, because what it shows me is that even when a woman is beautiful, you don't expect that you should have that. Even though I put on the effort of all this makeup and getting my hair done, that's why man like him, next time he sees me, he's going to see me just like this, with my natural bun and a little tiny bit of makeup, if that. Because you don't even deserve the top level treatment. Look at how you treat me. I'm going to come in with a bullshit t-shirt and my hair in a bun. Because that's what happens when a woman doesn't have any money to take care of herself and you have not helped out. Why should I give you a beautiful night with my full energy, looking the way I do, fully put together, but you think it's okay to give me less than half of what I asked you for? That's why you get nothing. Like it's a straight up business thing. I said I wanted to take you out to dinner and go out for drinks and a good time. I understand everything he's saying, but it doesn't matter, because he's getting upset with the fact that he said. I'm saying you said a lot of things, but you didn't do what I want, so we're never going anywhere. So now you're at a loss because you just put money in my account, even though it was only $100. You just put money in my account to basically never see me, because this is exactly what you thought. You thought that I wasn't going to make do on my promise, and here I am showing you that actually I'm not going to, because not because I didn't want to come out. Of course, what woman doesn't want to come out for dinner and drinks? I wanted to go out for dinner and drinks, except I told him to make the plans, right? And then this is what I said. Yes, because I'm the one and only Jackie. That's a fact. Believe it or not, I actually do have people that give me huge chunks of money because I'm so good with paying people back. That is a fact. I've never had a problem paying people back. That's an actual fact that I did not lie to him about. And then he goes, oh my. And then I said, and I use that as a test to see what people think of my value. He says, that's good. Because we're in text message, so he's responding to old things. And then I say, also, we like to make money around here. This is where I challenge him as a man, and it worked. I'm showing you how I'm reading this comment. And also, we like to make money around here so we can help out our people. For example, 3 years ago, my stylist came to me and she was moving around the corner, and I gave her whatever I gave her, a couple $1,000 cash in her hands that day. She did my hair for free up until last month when she moved. And those are all real stories, but they have to be twisted up in a certain way to make him understand that there are people that ride for me regardless. You don't need to know exactly how much money they give me or anything, but they ride, and they ride hard because I ride hard. So And I said, honestly, I don't know how I would have made it last year without the help of others. That's what I said to him, to remind him that I'm very grateful of everything that people have done for me. And yes, they have done a lot, but I also do a lot. I do a lot, so I expect. But if I die, he said, but if I did show caution, just means I'm not an idiot. And I said, $100 is what you get a little kid, not grown-ups. And I resent the fact that you think I wouldn't see you when I was waiting for you to make plans this weekend. Men make plans, women follow the plans. Anyhow, I took my leave out and I don't have enough money to do it, so you'll have to wait. And that is just me showing him that now the gig is up. The jig is up. You think I'm a hooker. You think I'm only worth $100. Now I'm going to show you, you know what? Keep the $100. I don't have no hair in, no makeup in. I don't actually want to see you. Forget what you said. Who cares? It's not necessary. Next time you want to see me, you're going to have to put me together. You're going to have to pay for my nails, my hair, and everything because you offended me so much. And I know you're dying to see me. Otherwise, you wouldn't have reached out this summer because I didn't reach out to him. 10 years later, and you're reaching out to me. You're dying to see me. Pale and pasty Irishman trying to have a zebra kid so he can have some beautiful melanin children. Listen, let me tell you something. You pay like you fucking weigh. Because I could have all these beautiful, brown, gorgeous, mixed guys. I could have a wonderful, I love Italians. I love a nice Italian with olive tone skin. I could have any man I want, but literally I'm talking to you and you don't present much because whiteness is not property anymore. Whiteness has no value. The only value now is money. Either you have it or you don't. Whiteness is property is a book. I forget who made it, but we studied that in one of my African studies classes in college. Whiteness has a value. Yes, that's the reason why DFS has his half baby, because that's the only thing. He's older than I am. He's 40 something. So in his mind, he still operates like Gail and Oprah and all those old people, where they think that the closer to whiteness you get and white adjacent you get, the more value you have. And I used to kind of think that way too. But the beautiful part of being a millennial is that I'm in the age of change. So it's like, I don't need a mixed baby. As long as my baby is healthy and beautiful and we have money. I want a mixed baby because they're beautiful and they're cute. But at the same time, I just want a cute baby. If I find a nice looking black man that is interesting enough to me, or a nice looking POC person of color that's interesting enough, we'll have a beautiful black baby. Matrilineal. That's how we determine that's how we determine the race of our children in Africa, meaning I'm a black woman and the tissue of my child is coming from my body, so they will be black. I don't have to worry about that. That's why Rihanna says any child she has quite naturally will be a black woman. If you understand your heritage, then you know what it is. If you're a black woman, any child you have is black. So what I say is this. I'm not going to tell any of these men to kick rocks. Now we get to this. So we have no report. I just don't throw my money over an app to someone I don't really know. And I said, but you'll buy a hotel room for a woman you don't. See, the logic is, and I sent him the crazy face. I said, see, the logic is so sad. Anyway, if you hang out in Long Island City, you can find plenty of hoes walking around. You don't need me. I'm the best catch in the city. Oh, well. That's what I hit him with the oh well emoji. The oh well, what could I do emoji? Right? And he said, no, because I use it and you use it. Dinner I eat and you eat. Most importantly, both things are together. I don't know what he's talking about, but it doesn't make sense to me and I don't care because it doesn't have any money. He could have said all those things and then been like, yo, I would have appreciated it if he did this. Say all the shit you want to say to me. Send me another $100. Show me that you care about me. You don't have to send me $400 or $500, but as we're having this conversation and I'm challenging you, send me another $100. Make it worth my while. Don't just entertain me for conversation. You understand what I'm saying? But now I have to give it to him in a nice, nasty way, and I have to, in a very passive aggressive way, I have to give it to him so he understands who he's dealing with. Because I still want him to do things for me. Trust me, I will get him to start paying. I will, because he knows he has a high caliber bitch now. And then I said, I guess you thought I was making up everything about the record label. I guess you thought I must be lying about the real estate exam, must be lying about the Citibank incident. Honestly, I've been getting so much support from my friends this month that I can't fault you. I'll be fine. I'll tell you this, I'm not lying. You'll see. And then I said, I have the pedigree and the experience and the wherewithal. I'm going to be the next mogul out of the city. You're going to be talking about how you were trying to offer me money for a hotel room. Meaning, I'm going to be the next mogul, and you're going to be sitting here talking about how you was trying to offer me money for a hotel room. A stupid story about how you could have had this, but instead you were trying to offer money for a hotel room. Are you a clown? I mean, do you want to be next to Jackie Kennedy, or do you want to be next to Anna Nicole Smith? Which one do you want? You know. So then, and I said the eye roll, and he said. Then he said the eye roll, and he said, I don't need you for pussy. I liked you and found you attractive. I reached out to you to see if you were still around doing massages. Okay, so massages, I was younger, and you weren't going to try to force me to have sex with you back then. But now, at 30-something, I'm giving you a massage for a grown man to feel comfortable pushing himself up on me because, I didn't deal with creeps. So it was much harder for a man. Most of the time I went to do these massages, and the most that they would ever do is maybe touch my breasts or something like that. And I feel like, all right, put that money on the table. But at the same time, it's like, you know what? It's not the same. It doesn't carry the same value. I was paying $600 for a room back then. 6 massages could have paid my rent. Are you fucking kidding me now? Like, who does this guy think he is? So then he says, I reached out to you. You told me you weren't interested and you weren't and not interested. And that was fine. We caught up a little bit and you told me about your life. Ugh, the whole thing just spun out of control. Sorry, wasn't my intention to come across that way. And sorry for the confusion getting wires crossed. This is him apologizing to me while I'm at my interview. Last thing I sent him was, I have the pedigree and the experience, the wherewithal. I'm going to be the next mogul out of the city, and you're going to be talking about how you were trying to offer me money for a hotel room. I roll. I left him with that for a whole day. And he literally came back to back with about 6-7 messages, long ones, paragraphs. I mean, guys, fucking paragraphs. Paragraphs, guys. I mean, fucking damn. After he said, so when he did that, then the next day, I hit him with the later in the evening, I hit him with the emoji in front of the computer. I use that for businesswoman. It's like, laptop Apple computer with the black girl emoji. Businesswoman. And I said, and then he says, that's all I hit him with. Never said anything. Just hit him with the emoji. He says, well, guess that kind of killed things, I guess. Still wish you all the best with your future and your business. If anything, you know my number. Kissy face. Then I hit him with the, now this is where you use the art of seduction, because he thinks he's failed, but now I have to give him the coquette behavior, which is like, but you thought that, right? I had you confused, had you thinking you failed, but look how I flipped it on you and gave you another chance. Look at that energy just flip in an unpredictable manner. So why do you make assumptions? Do you want to kill everything? Then I sent the business thing with the books again, and I said, well, that equals my exam was too easy and I finished in 25 minutes. That's what I was really trying to say. I wasn't trying to check you with those emojis. So I hit him with the thing, and then I've said equals RE exam was too easy, finished in 25 minutes. I'm on the train back. I started at 1:30. I was late. Meaning I was late and I finished in 25 minutes. Look at the kind of bitch you're dealing with. I'm fire. So you need me in your life. You need to pay what you weigh. Then he hits me with the, apologies for misinterpreting your emojis, because he stays misinterpreting for the day. So now he knows he's in the doghouse. And then he says, nice, good for you. Then I hit him with the rain emojis. Then he said, I know. Then I said, supposed to be closing on a job offer today, this afternoon. My nails are all fucked up for this business meeting. Now, this is me giving him an opportunity to send me money for my nail. How many times do I have to give you a hint without you doing what I want? Here he is. This is the next morning after I know. I left the I know just to let him know I was still kind of, that was in the evening. Then I left it there. Hit him the next morning. Then he says, hey, Hope. He hits me back 2 hours later. This is like 9 in the morning. I hit him with that. 11:30, 11:45. He hits me back with, hey, hope it went well. I said, it's at 2:30, but thank you. He says, okay, good luck then. And I said, well, I need some stability because you men aren't making much money these days. I kicked him with an insult immediately, an insulting comment, an insulting joke. And then he goes, LOL, funny. And then I hit him with the super, hit him at later in the evening and tell him it went well. Meaning, if you're paying attention to what I'm doing, then you know that what I just did and it went well. He said, nice. Did you get a start date? Now this is where we come to today. Did I get a start date? I gave him a start date that wasn't real because I needed him to feel like they had given me a start date. Now, this start date might actually end up being the real start date. But the thing is, so then he hits me with the nice, what job is this? So this is where I don't hit him. I don't tell him what job it is. I'm not getting into all the details of where I'm going to be working. No. So you can be a stalker? Then I said, I'm just so dead broke. I have $6 to my name, but at least I'm alive. Okay, you don't need to know what's in my wallet, but it's not enough. You need to put the money that I need in the wallet. I have more than $6, but I don't have what I need. So I need him to believe that I'm broker than I'm broke so that he can give me exactly what I want so that I won't be broke and broke. Because as it stands right now, I need a couple $100 from him.